Hello everyone. I'd like to take a moment to thank you all for attending this month's webcast. I'm excited to present this material to you because we're going to be discussing our newest release of our Flash e-commerce product. It's been optimized for mobile devices, and really that's what we're going to talk about today. I think you're going to like what you see. Now, this is not a full-fledged Flash demo. I don't believe that we have enough time to cover all the features of Flash within the short allotted amount of time we have for this webcast. But I do think I have time to hit on the highlights, and if after this presentation you would like to discuss more features of Flash or what you've seen, or if you'd like to see something that I haven't shown, please just contact me or one of the support staff or your sales rep, and we'll be happy to set something up for you. So what is DPS Flash? Well, DPS Flash is a fully integrated e-commerce solution that has real-time inventory availability all the way down to the warehouse level and real-time customer-specific pricing that is now totally optimized for today's mobile environment. The features of Flash that I plan on covering in today's webcast are centered around how the e-commerce site is designed for mobility, how it's optimized for iPads and iPhones and mobile browsers. We're also going to talk about the different ways to interface with Flash. While it's an e-commerce site, it's got more uses than just as a storefront that your customers and your business partners can access. And finally, we're going to take a look at some of the improvements to the tools that we've made recently with the new release of Flash 8. So I think that there's going to be some exciting stuff here for you. Let's start by talking about some of the reasoning behind a new release of Flash. In the past few years, a lot of exciting stuff has happened in the web development community. There's been some new technologies that have come to the forefront that have really enhanced and taken the user's web experience to the next level. We are excited about these technologies, and we couldn't wait to get a handle on these and to integrate these into our products and offer them to you so that you can offer these to your customers. One of the major driving forces behind our newest release of our Flash product is that we were able to take advantage of some of the latest, greatest bleeding edge web technologies that have come about in the last few years. These web technologies allow easy customization of websites like an e-commerce site, and they allow for a lot of flexibility in porting these types of websites to mobile devices. And so just to give you an overview of what we've done under the covers, we have rewritten our Flash product using the latest, greatest HTML5 and Cascading Style Sheets 3 standards, and along with a nice JavaScript framework that makes the website extremely responsive. And all of this is controlled from the back end using Java and the Apache Velocity engine, which allows very dynamic templating of HTML pages. That might be more technical jargon than you might have wanted to hear, but it's important that you know that what you get whenever you get the newest release of Flash is the latest, greatest, most cutting edge web technologies. And when you go to make your own changes to Flash, or if you need us to make changes to Flash, the sky is the limit with what we can do because of the technology that we have in place. Now, out of the box, Flash is optimized for not only web browsers, but also for mobile devices such as tablets and also smartphones. When we're talking about the desktop aspect, you're now able to easily manipulate and move items around if you wanted to customize the look and feel of the website, including the menu bars and all the menu elements. And even without doing any customization at all, the website is extremely responsive. So as you resize a browser, it takes advantage of the space that it has, and it optimizes the space that it has. So the look and feel changes as you as you change that. And I will show that to you here in just a moment. For tablets, the same thing. It's got a slightly different look and feel because it optimizes the website for the screen real estate that's available. And finally, Flash looks great and works great on smartphones. And just about everybody has a smart device in their pocket nowadays. So giving the end user of your Flash product the ability to use your Flash site from just about anywhere in a way that feels natural and feels right. That's great value that you can give to your customer base and your business partners. So at this point, I want to go ahead and show you what I mean by this new Flash being responsive. Now, this particular Flash that I'm showing you is bare bones. It hasn't been skinned, if you will, with any company's logos other than our base testing scenario. But it'll definitely show you the point of what we're talking about. And this particular Flash page that I'm on is a product catalog page. So it's got lists of items. You can select what you want, add it to the cart. Very standard, intuitive look and feel. Something very similar to what you'd get if in an Amazon or eBay type experience. But if I take this web page the way it is, and you'll see it's got a menu bar along the top, and that the items are 3 deep at this point in time, that's all customizable. And I change the size of the page, you'll see that my menus go away, and as it gets smaller, it compensates and realizes how big the browser is, how much real estate I have, and gives me the experience that is the most pleasant for the user with that real estate. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at this same page on other devices. In this example, we're looking at the Flash 8 on an iPad in landscape mode, and you notice that we have enough real estate to actually display the Flash web page just as it would be displayed in a full desktop browser. But I'm going to flip this over to portrait mode, and you're going to be able to see the responsive nature of Flash. So here is the same page, except now we've oriented the iPad to a portrait mode, and we didn't have enough space on the screen in order to display the entire menu in the form that it was. So one of the responsive natures of Flash now is to recognize the screen real estate, the device type that it's on, and to compensate for that by repositioning and even changing the way that screen elements are displayed. So now we still can see most of our items where we had them laid out before, but our menu has now collapsed to the top. So it's now touch friendly, it's out of the way, but easily accessible if you needed to change categories or review your cart or go ahead and see what's in your favorites. Those are all available just at a touch of your finger there. So here we're looking at the same Flash page that we looked at on the desktop version of Flash, and you'll notice that the website was responsive and recognized that it was on a smartphone, and instead of presenting the full desktop web browser experience, it optimized it for the mobile device. And you don't have to do any pinching and zooming. You just swipe up and down to see the different elements in the list. If you would need to change categories or navigate through the menu system, it's all collapsed right up here in a very nice touch-friendly way so that you can come down here, click any menu option you want, drill down onto anything that you need. It's touch-friendly, optimized for mobile. So that should give you an idea of the mobility effort that we've put forth with Flash 8. What I'd like to touch on next is the multiple ways that you have of presenting Flash 8. There's more than one face to it. And I'll discuss the four different interfaces briefly. If you have questions about any of these specific interfaces, please let us know. We will be happy to demonstrate those to you as in-depth as you'd like. But the four different types of interfaces that we have are a business to consumer, a business to business, a sales rep type interface, and a CSR interface for your customer service staff. The business to consumer scenario is one where you've opened up your Flash site and your e-commerce site to the outside world. This is somebody being able to just type in the URL and get there without logging in initially. So in this experience, the user is able to see whatever it is that you're allowing them to see, and they get pricing information that is list price because there's no customer record yet to fall back on. And they're able to navigate around, select quantities of items, and put them in their cart, and they do not have to do any kind of a login process until it's time for checkout. And at that point in time, they would either need to log in or create an account, of course, in order to send that order through to the back end. But this is a way of letting someone browse your site and make some selections in a business to consumer type model. The next scenario that we have is a business to business model, and this is where one of your established business to business customers has an account set up with you in order to access the e-commerce website. The advantage to this, of course, is that they have customer specific pricing that they see. So they see any kind of item groupings that you have available to them, any item restrictions perhaps, but they also get their contract pricing or promotional pricing or anything that might apply to that specific customer. So there is an advantage there. And so I'm going to log in. Bear with me for 1 second. So here we are back at our demonstration Flash site, and I'm going to sign in using a business to business account that I've got set up. And while I'm doing that, please remember that this is an unbranded site. So your Flash site would have your color scheme and might be laid out completely different. So just because this is how we have our demonstration and test site doesn't mean that's how your Flash site looks. Look and feel is fully customizable. And once I'm signed in as Debbie, my business to business customer, I'm able to go through and see all of the item categories that Debbie has access to. These would include customer specific pricing and inventory availability. Now, the customer specific pricing could be contracts, or it could be that you're showing promotional pricing. Inventory availability, we show that here in this scenario as a red light, green light, yellow light scenario, where green is plenty of stock, yellow light is low stock, red light is out of stock. So inventory availability is real time. That's in a business to consumer or a business to business or any of our interfaces. But just so that you're aware of that. One of the advantages of having the business to business interface turned on and someone actually logging in to use it as a business to business e-commerce site is that they have access to a lot of inquiry features like order history and invoice history and AR information, and a lot of this is configurable. So if you want them to have access to some information and not other information, there are a lot of admin flags and settings that you as an administrator of the Flash site have access to. But that is well beyond the scope of our webcast. So if you have any questions about that or concerns, please let us know. So moving on down our list, we go from business to our Salesforce or sales rep interface. This type interface is becoming increasingly popular with our customer base. It provides your sales reps a way to manage their own customer base. And it does this by allowing the sales rep to log in and yet access each of their customers' accounts. And they can do this as if they were logged in as the customer without having to worry about having that customer's username and password. And once they're in, they can take a look at the invoice history and the sales information, or place orders on behalf of the customer. So let's take a real quick look at that interface. So here we are on our Flash demo site again, and let's log in as this sales rep. And you'll notice that the first screen that pops up when you log on as a sales rep is an account selection screen. And in my case, I've only got 3 accounts associated with the sales rep, but depending on how large your sales territories are or how many sales reps you have on staff, you could have quite a few. You could have hundreds. There are some nice filter fields up here which let you pare that down and search for customers by name, or even paring down by city or postal address, that type of a filter. Now, all that your sales rep has to do in order to access a customer is to click their way through. And all of a sudden now I'm back logged in as I'm using the site as a sales rep, but also as one of my customers, which in this case was the user Debbie. And I could come out to the order history or the invoice history and take a look at everything that she's done in the past. Okay, so it's not a far stretch to go from the sales rep interface to the customer service interface. So let me flip back over and discuss that. And now the last interface that I have to show you here is our customer service rep interface. And this interface is designed to be used by someone that's in the customer service role where they might need to look up any number of customers. So unlike the Salesforce interface, where your sales rep is limited to only seeing the customers that are assigned to their sales territory, the customer service rep interface has the ability to search over your entire customer base and place orders on behalf of just about anyone. This is a nice way to provide your customer service reps with a web-based interface in order to do the common order entry tasks that you would normally do directly connected to the back-end software. And here is an example of a user account that has the customer service rep interface. And just to give you an example, I can look for all customers, which would be rather extensive, by putting an asterisk here. And you'll see that the list is extensive. I see everyone that's on the system. I can pare that down once again by any number of fields that would help me identify what customer I'm looking for. If I know the number, that's fine. If I know the name, that's great, or an address, whatever it is that I have, whatever information I have. And from there, once again, I can drill into the Flash website and use the website as that customer and look up any kind of inquiry type information based on that. To finish up today's webcast, I just want to show you a couple of improvements and features of Flash. Like I said, there's so much to this software that I can't cover it all in a short webcast. But every tool that's on here is intuitive to use. So I guess the good news is you don't have to train your users on how to use this kind of interface. But we have enhanced, either added or enhanced, some features like the ability to search over the entire website for items. Because this is more than just like an Amazon generic type interface, the ability to filter down and use information you might already have in your backend if you're using Extend or some other ERP. You can use search words or any kind of attribute that you have associated with items. You can add all these different filter elements and help pare down the items that you, or as a customer, you would see. Another really great feature here is the ability to take an order or order history and dump it into Excel. And so I could come out and take this order history and put it directly into an Excel spreadsheet. And whenever I do that, I don't have to have all the information that's available. I can pare it down. This is a nice handy way to customize the customize your data for reporting purposes. You're able to export this information from Flash in a format that most people are comfortable with, which is Excel. So you can add several different types of information. And then within a very short amount of time, have that available for view in an Excel spreadsheet. And it is just that easy to do this. So Flash also includes some features that your customers will appreciate and have come to expect in e-commerce sites, like the ability to select multiple items and then compare those items side by side. They're also able to start a shopping cart by adding quantities of items to their shopping cart, remove items from that shopping cart throughout their shopping experience, and then finally check out using a very intuitive interface. There's also something that we've added with Flash 8, and I'm going to jump over to our quick order interface, which this quick order interface is a way for maybe more customer service reps to rapidly enter products. It's got a look and feel that's similar to an order entry interface, so they can start typing in products and one by one without having to go through the menu system or using the search feature at the top in order to locate the products and then put in the quantity and select them and add them to the cart, which is several keystrokes as opposed to just typing in the product name, the quantity, the units, and then moving on to the next thing. But one of the things we've done to help expedite this process is that we include type ahead. So if I start typing a product code, you'll notice that it will intelligently return all the available codes. Now I can keep typing. If I go, oops, here, R1, you'll see it pares down what I've got. And in the case that I typed a 1 by accident and wiped everything out, you'll notice that there was only one product available that started with a 1, so it filled in the blanks for me. So I just wanted to point out that we've added that type of intelligent type ahead functionality, and we've done that to help your users be more productive.